Apart from a couple of moves, it's been a relatively quiet offseason for the Toronto Blue Jays. So tonight on this live stream, we'll be reacting to your trade proposals on Jays Digest.
Yes, sir.
What's up, Jays fans? I'm your host, Peter Vryonis, alongside host Nick Gosse. Doing a little something different today. It's been a quiet offseason for the Toronto Blue Jays. But first, I want to thank you all for the support. It's been unreal. And we're going to be reacting to your guys' trades right now. So make sure to drop them in the comments if you haven't done so, or even on our community post. We'll be pulling those up and having a bit of a chat with you guys. So make sure to be vocal out there.
Yeah, we got a few. We got a few of them. What's up, Owen? What's up, Jacob? But yeah, we got a few trades on. There's a lot of news that dropped as well. So we have a lot to discuss today. And let's just. What's up, Doc? Let's start by before we get into the trades, which we have a good few. We'll pop up a couple screenshots of news that's dropped recently regarding trades. So this dropped around 25 minutes ago. One executive says the Pirates want a Soto type package to trade Bryan Reynolds. What's up, Phil Hearn? What are your thoughts on that, Peter? They're not getting a Soto type package. There's just no way.
Oh, no way, man. No way they're getting a Soto type package. If it was Juan Soto, then yes, they'd get a Soto type package. But Bryan Reynolds is not 23 years old. He's not one of the best hitters of the generation. They're not getting that type of return for him. There's no question about that.
Yeah, that is ridiculous. Let us know in the chat what your thoughts are about that. Pass on that. That's ridiculous. It is quite ridiculous. They're not going to get anything close to a Soto type package. Jansen to Cleveland for Savali and Karinchak. Now we'll pop that in the trade simulator in a minute. That is a very reasonable trade.
Yeah, while you're popping it up in the trade simulator, I like that. I already like that. We remember Cleveland really had our number in this past season. Aaron Savali early in the year really carved up the Blue Jays, and he's a guy that throws like 92, 91, but he's always on the corners. He's got a pretty mean hooking curveball. So, I like that. And James Karinchak, I mean, that Cleveland bullpen is absolutely stacked, whether it be Yohan Duran, Emmanuel Clase, and then you have Karinchak in there. It's a pretty crazy trio that they have in the back end of that bullpen. So
Yeah.
I like that. I like that quite a bit there.
Yeah, we'll pop that in. We're going to be going on our desktop in a couple minutes here and popping up the trade simulator and the trade evaluator to compare some stuff. We have lots of trades coming in. Gurriel Martinez, Danny, two other prospects for Bryan Reynolds. That honestly be what's up, bro? Who I remember you made some super chats last time. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. I'm from Chicago here, and Hap is up for trade. We would love Ian Happ over here. Kirk and Jansen for Bryan Reynolds. What are your guys' thoughts on us rejecting Danny Jansen trade for Ryan Hesley? Okay, so before we get into the trades, let's answer a couple questions. That's a good one. Peter, what are your thoughts on that? Us rejecting the Danny Jansen trade for Ryan Hesley because it leaked that the Phillies wanted to trade us, or the Cardinals, sorry, wanted to trade us that.
Yeah, okay. So we spoke about this off camera before filming our video, and I said I liked it. I mean, Ryan Helsley is a guy that throws 103 miles an hour out of that bullpen. Obviously, he doesn't sit 103, but having 100 come out of your pen is never a bad thing. But I think the Blue Jays really want to use their catchers to address their outfield situation right now. So I think that's why they might not have been interested in that. But hey, you still need some help in the bullpen too. So I think I would have gone for that personally, but I know you weren't a fan of that trade. You said Helsley had a couple of bad years before the year prior, but still, man, this guy, when you're pumping 100 plus, I mean, it's hard to say no to that. I would have done it
Yeah,
personally, but I don't know about you, Nick.
it's definitely a question that comes up, and I still don't really know. Again, he has years before. If he had prior great years, and it definitely would have been much more a question. But I think you're right. I think they're going to try to trade it for an outfielder. Josh said, "Love the podcast." Thank you, Josh. Such thing as a three-way
I got
trade.
so here, Jason Matthew. We touched on it before about Ian Happ. He's from Chicago, and he's hearing rumblings about Ian Happ. I think that would be like the perfect piece, whether it's him or Reynolds, a guy that's so versatile, that can switch hit, that can play all over the place. Yeah, sign me up, man.
Yeah,
But he's going to be a free agent. He's going to be a free agent the next off season. So do we really want to take the chance on losing out on someone else? If there's a deal in place where we could sign him long term and keep him here in Toronto, I'd do whatever it takes to get Ian Happ, as long as it's not Gabriel Moreno.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think anything, maybe besides Tiedemann as well is close, but
Yeah,
smash
Tiedemann. Yeah, and Tiedemann.
smash the like button. Yes, hit subscribe if you're new. I would personally be honest, I would only want Brian Reynolds if we got David Bednar as well. Martinez, Danny Gurriel, 3 more prospects. That's a great question that'll lead into our segue in a minute. We have a trade regarding Bednar and Reynolds submitted by you guys. There is a such thing as a 3-way trade. How many years did Kiermaier get? Let's just quickly react to that as well. We might touch on it in tomorrow's video. We haven't decided yet. 1 year, $8.6 million, I believe, was the
Is that what it is?
I do believe it was released. I will triple check that, but I did see that. Yeah, I believe
Okay,
it was
well,
1 year.
if that is the deal, that's an unbelievable deal. And you know what that signifies to me, Nick? 8.6 million.
What does that
You know
signify?
what that means? That means he's our 4th outfielder. You're not paying a starting center fielder $8.6 million in today's Major League Baseball.
So it wasn't tweeted out by a verified source, but the tweet got like 100 likes and a bunch of retweets. It popped up in my feed, so don't take that fully officially, but it says a guy who seems to have, I don't know if he has sources or not. Yeah, it says that's a weird thing to lie about, but 1 year, 8.5 million is what they say. It could not be, it's not officially verified. We'll know for sure over the next coming days. But either way, that sounds reasonable enough to be believable. Maybe a bit pricey, but I think I like it, and more moves are to come. It's a very good contract for Kevin Kiermaier. Yes, if that is the case.
Yeah.
But I have a couple more screenshots I want to pop up, but you go ahead.
Yeah, and another thing here, Reynolds is a much nicer piece than Happ any day of the week, of course, but he's going to cost you a lot more. And Ian Happ is not too shabby either. The guy had a career here last season. He's fast, he's versatile, switch hitter as well. So, yes, Reynolds is the top dog on the trade market right now, but there's nothing wrong with having Ian Happ be your everyday center fielder either.
Yeah,
I don't mind that.
Happ would be unbelievable. I'm starting to love this Kevin Kiermaier signing. I kind of liked it a lot from the start. His StatCast is off the charts. Reynolds is a much nicer piece. Yeah, you're very right with that. Steal at 8.6. If that is the case, 1 year 8.5, you can't go wrong. We need a starting pitcher. I think the Jays should make a trade for Jordan Hicks. Jordan Hicks would be nuts. So let's I have a couple of screenshots. I'm just going to get right into the trades reacting from you guys.
Yeah.
So this is just a little bit of, we'll give you a bit of a round table news. I'll fire it at you quickly. We might touch on it some more in depth in tomorrow's video, but this was stuff dropped half recently. Ben Nicholson-Smith says the Jays are motivated behind the scenes to improve the outfield still. Mentions Conforto and Brantley, and also mentions, of course, Dalton Varsho. Obviously, of course, the Reynolds speculating. So Varsho would be cool. And then we also have a mystery team in on Carlos Rodon. Could it be us? Who knows? But
I don't know.
I'm liking
Massimo here.
Good.
Massimo, Jays need gas in the pen. I agree. You have too many guys throwing 94, 95. Which is not bad. I wish I could throw 94 miles an hour, but in the major leagues, that doesn't really play too much coming out of the bullpen. So he's right. We need 98 plus. We also need another lefty in the bullpen. There's still a lot of holes to fill in this roster, whether it be in the outfield, starting rotation. The bullpen is not yet complete. Ross Atkins needs to keep making moves here, and I think Kevin Kiermaier was just the first domino to fall. We got a slow start to the offseason, but hopefully things start to pick up here.
I think they will. Is Kevin Kiermaier better than Cody Bellinger in your opinion? No. Better defender by a little bit, yes, but not a better hitter. Well, it's kind of weird. That's hard. Yeah,
not as much upside. You know, like Cody Bellinger. I know he struggled, but the guy was an MVP. Like Kevin Kiermaier was never an MVP level player. So no, he's not better than Cody Bellinger. Maybe at what they do right now, he's a better like defense first center fielder, but as potential like upside look of things, no, he's not.
I agree. Oops, that is not the right one. That's why Hesley would have been amazing because he perfectly saw it. All right, let's get into some trades here. Let's get into some trades. Hesley would have been amazing. That would have been a crazy.
Nick doesn't want to talk about Hesley anymore. He doesn't want to talk about it anymore.
I love Hesley.
Moving on.
I don't think honestly Hesley's underrated. I'm underrating him is what I'll agree a little bit. But it's just for Danny Jansen, it's hard to. All right, it's our first time doing this, man. So bear with us. Let's hope this goes smoothly. We're going to desktop view and we're gonna look at some of your guys' trades. So, all right, I think we're good here. I think we're chilling. All right, you can still see us. Everything's good. I might not be able to see the chat right now, but that's fine. Peter, you might have to take over that part. Okay. So we have a couple trades here. We let us know in the chat. I'll grab the chat up on my phone real quick so we can at least see it to some degree, or me see it. So this is the first trade we had. This is left in the community section. It's not too late to get trades in. We'll make sure to react to yours as they come in as well, and I can edit them here and craft some stuff. So this first one is Bednar and Reynolds for Martinez and Tiedemann. Now, Peter, I'll get your initial reaction on this and what your thoughts are on this trade before we.
That's lopsided. I know those are our top two prospects right now, but no way the Pirates go out and do that. I mean, Tiedemann is like one of those can't miss prospects, whereas Aroldis Martinez, there's a lot of concern about him striking out, and his defense isn't exactly great. Is he a third baseman? Is he a second baseman? Is he a shortstop? We don't really know. So I don't think the Pirates go for that. Even if it was just for Brian Reynolds, I don't think they go out and do that. And you add David Bednar in there, a reliever with like 4 more years of control. There's no way that gets done. There's a comment here by Jeff Voss. With Mattingly coming in, do you think that affects getting someone like Pablo Lopez? It's hard to say. I mean, they definitely had some ties over there in Miami. I don't know how much influence Don Mattingly has on the front office, but he could definitely give us some insight, and like maybe Pablo Lopez is not a guy that you should go for, or maybe he loves Pablo Lopez and the Jays should really try and push for him. So it's hard to say, but yeah, I don't know. What do you think about that, Nick?
Yeah, I don't think it would affect us trading for him. I think it could affect a possible extension, but I don't think it would affect us trading for him because I don't think the front office cares about who we have, and I don't think Don Mattingly has much say in the front office. All right, type yes or no in the chat for this trade if you are the Blue Jays. Obviously, I'm expecting a lot of yeses, but maybe some people are high on Tiedemann. Yes or no in the chat if you were on the Blue Jays before I move on to the next one. And a lot of people are asking about Aroldis Chapman. We'll get into that in a second as well. But yes or no. Peter, what are your thoughts on Aroldis Chapman here as well? While they
I think he's washed. I don't want anything to do with Aroldis Chapman.
Fair point.
Unless it's in a role where he's like a fifth, sixth inning guy, then maybe. But he looked awful in his last year in New York, so I don't know. Yeah. W trade. I'm getting a lot of yeses, of course. I mean, this is obviously a W trade for the Blue Jays, but not for the Pirates. Like, if you're reacting to these trades in the comment section here, we want you to be realistic as well. Like, if you were
go ahead,
an anonymous GM. Let's say you were an anonymous GM. Would you do this trade? Like, does this get done? Does this get approved? I don't know. I don't think it does.
I've been on record saying the only way I trade Tiedemann is if it's for Bednar and Reynolds. But I think it would take a bit more. We had someone in here saying that Aroldis is maybe rated a bit low on this thing, and I would tend to agree a little bit. I think he's probably more around 11 or 12. But either way, it's a bit lopsided. Chapman on the Jays would be hilarious. Yeah, it would. Can you check Jordan Hicks' value? We can. I think we have a Cardinals trade coming up. If not, I'll type it in and check his value. Never gonna happen. Yeah, it's
no, it's not gonna happen.
I don't think with these two. I think Tiedemann could be a centerpiece for a trade around Reynolds. I think if we were getting Bednar, we definitely need to include one of our catchers.
Yeah.
Even though they have they're stacked at the catcher position, never gonna happen. Chapman on the Jays would be hilarious. It will be hilarious. All right, let's move on to the next one. This one is gonna be this one's a bit more even to a degree. This one was also submitted through community tab. Espinal, Kirk, and Aroldis for Chisholm and Luzardo. Now this one is this is a fun one here. So what are your thoughts on this one, Peter?
Well, those are two great pieces coming back to Toronto. Jesus Luzardo, I think he's pretty underrated on this thing. The guy's a lefty that throws gas, and what is it over there?
27.1. So still pretty high.
Yeah, it is high, but I mean he has years of control, and the guy throws gas from the left-hand side. Like,
yeah,
I don't really, and he's a strikeout pitcher too. That doesn't really.
This is an interesting
make much
trade.
sense to me. I don't know if the Marlins do it. I think we'd have to add in maybe like an Addison Barger to the deal or something,
Yeah.
like another couple prospects. But I like the framework of the deal. I don't know if the Marlins value Kirk that highly either. Like, do they want a catcher right now that's like major league ready? I don't know.
All right, I tend to agree with you. Also, we would have to move. This would mean moving Bo to second base, which would be interesting as well. The value is kind of similar. All right, yes or no in the chat if you are the Marlins for this one, of course. And then we'll go Jays. If you're the Marlins, do you accept this deal? You get Alejandro Kirk, a stud. Espinal is rated fairly high. I guess fair enough. He was an all-star last year. I would do this deal any day. So if you're the Marlins, would you accept?
Eric Shepard, I'm just gonna address this comment here. I've read that Chisholm is a head case in the locker room. I don't buy that personally because I think Chisholm just wants to win. The guy is intense. He was the only good position player on the Marlins last year, and I think he was just fed up. It's like kind of a Brian Reynolds situation. The guy wants to be in a good situation, and I don't think he's a head case. He likes to play flashy, and he's just like a fun player to watch. I don't think that translates to him being a head case.
Yeah, we it's hard to judge that stuff, especially if you're obviously not
It
in
is.
there.
You're not in there. I mean, you're not in the locker room, but still.
We have a lot of no's. Blue Jays yeses, no's for the Marlins. I would argue that Kirk is valued way too low compared to Jazz Chisholm. That is a fair point. Chisholm
That is
is a
fair.
stud.
That is
I had a
fair.
question here. I was going to look. Do you guys think the Jays will get Conforto, maybe another top pitcher that is left? Top pitcher, I don't think so. I think Conforto is a very, very realistic option that I could see happening quite easily. I don't know about. I guess the only top pitcher left is Rodon, and I don't think we're going to get Rodon. That's possible, but I don't think he's too
I was
likely.
thinking of Grichuk. Is there an opportunity to bring him back? I hope not. I mean, he does not fit the current version of the Blue Jays. That's the last thing we need. Another right-handed hitting outfielder that strikes out half the time. No
Yeah,
way.
definitely not. Grichuk is his time is gone. We do love him though. I do love Grichuk. So I guess the consensus here is Jays would do it. Marlins wouldn't. Though I would argue there's a few Jays fans who probably wouldn't do this. Would you take David Peralta on the Jays? He'd be a cool player. He'd be a cool player to have.
Yeah, but yeah, I'd take him, but I'd go more for Brantley or Conforto.
Could they fit Conforto and Brantley? It's an interesting question. I don't think they would get both. Could they fit both if they trade maybe Kirk? Yeah, it might be a bit easier to be
Could they?
done.
Could,
I don't
no,
know. It'd be tough. It would be tough. With Kiermaier as well, probably not. Probably not with Kiermaier.
No, I don't know. I think you need one more outfielder because Kiermaier is so versatile. Like he can play all the positions and he can and Kiermaier is a guy that I'd be comfortable starting. And we said this in our last video. Like when we had Raimel Tapia, Brad Zimmer, Jackie Bradley Jr., I didn't feel comfortable starting any of them in the outfield. And that's that's just the only thing for me. Like if I would see them in the starting lineup, I'm like, oh well, today's a throwaway day or something like that, you know. And it just to me as a Blue Jay fan, I just did not feel comfortable having any of those guys trot out in the starting lineup.
Yeah.
So I think one more outfielder is all we need, and then we look to address our pitching staff.
We got Leafs Digest coming in. What's up, Zach? Couple goats. Shout out to the Leafs. They've been doing well recently. Shout out Leafs Digest. If you like hockey, go check them out. So how you doing, Zach? I want to Peralta at the trade deadline. The Rays ended up getting him, which is kind of crazy. So I think we're ready to move on to the next trade here, the third one, and then we'll take some more from you guys. I know you guys put a lot of them at the start, and we'll put them in the trade machine. But let's go into this last one here, which is Alec Thomas for Jansen and Orelvis. Orelvis is the key of the centerpiece of all these guys. What are your guys' thoughts on this one? This one's value is the closest. This is obviously Alec Thomas of the Diamondbacks for Jansen and Martinez. Would you guys take this if you were the Jays? What are your thoughts on it? He'd still be an okay center fielder. Go ahead.
Before we get to that, Owen just asked, did Luzardo have a good year this past year? Yes, he was unbelievable in Miami. And it's starting to look like he's really putting it together. Guy throws gas from the left side. He threw like 100 innings, I think, and he struck out like 130 guys, 140 guys. He was unreal this year, and it looks he looks real good right now, and I think he's really figured it out.
He would slide in. He would slide in perfectly to our right
Perfect,
here.
perfect.
Alec is a great defender. Yes, you do. Everyone loves these trades. Yes, this one's more even, and this one's a bit more of a. I wouldn't do this. I don't have that much hope in Alec Thomas. That's fair. I know a lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't.
He's so young, man. He's so young. I would do this. I would do this trade in a heartbeat right here. Alec Thomas addresses our need, our biggest need that we have right now, I think. And yes, I'm doing that trade right away.
I definitely agree. Zach said smash that like button. Zach is correct. If you're watching the video right now, or Leafs Digest, if you're watching the video, everyone is watching the video, make sure you hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. We're streaming more, and we'll ask you a question a little bit later about what day. We're going to be doing weekly streams at the very least. And and we're excited for it.
Y'all must be Yankee fans. For real. Or maybe they just don't like us. That's also pretty possible.
Hit the like button now if you enjoy the content.
At least me.
Hit the like button. What would a trade look for Reynolds? Adam, we just covered that, but I know if you were in case you're late, this is what we had. Bednar and Reynolds for Martinez and Tiedemann. The consensus was the Pirates, of course, would not do the deal. It would probably be something more like adding like Moreno into this package would probably be something more likely for that.
Greinke is 40 years old, Corey. I don't think.
Let's
I
get
think we're. I
Greinke.
think we're headed in the wrong direction. I think
What
we're
would you
headed in the
do
wrong
for
direction if we're
Dalton
getting Greinke.
Varsho? What we'll start to do now is so what's the consensus on this deal? Yes in the chat if you do it if you're the Blue Jays. No if you would
Yes.
yeah, yes or no.
I would. Yeah.
Thank you, Leafs Digest. I don't know.
My God, Zach. Thank you.
All right, yes or no in the chat if you would like if you would do this deal for the Jays. I think I would if this was Kirk. Probably not. I feel like the Diamondbacks would push for Alejandro Kirk. I feel like it's much more of a. I feel like that may be more likely. Sign Swanson and try Bo and his athleticism in center field, moving George to right. That would be wild. I don't know if Bo should be in center field. All right, we got.
I don't mind that. I don't mind it, but there's no way we get Swanson
No way.
because I mean he's gonna ask for 300+ million probably.
All right, this is split. I think there's a couple more yeses than nos, but there's a fair bit of nos. That's good. That's what we want to see with these trade ideas. No.
Like, that means it's even side. That means it's like an even sided trade.
Yep.
That's what it means.
Elvis is set to cover third base when Chappie leaves. If Chappie leaves, I could see the Jays extending him.
Well, I could see it too, but got a lot of people to pay.
Yeah.
Don't know if we could.
Kiermaier hits well in two places: Toronto and Yankee Stadium. Hey, they moved the walls down to fit Kiermaier robbing more home runs. That's why they did all the renovations. I would value.
They moved right field in by 100 feet too. It looks like it on the new renovations. So
Owen says
a couple more.
I would value Elvis the same as Alec Thomas.
No, Alec Thomas is proven. He's proven at the major league level. Gold Glove caliber center fielder. Those don't come around very often.
It's a great question, Metallic. I was wondering how we're feeling about Biggio, lefty hitter that's been derailed by injuries. Does he deserve another chance? Peter, I will let you talk about that while we go back into the duos camera here now to discuss that before we get into a couple of more trades and your guys' trade ideas, which will add up.
Okay, here's my thing with Biggio. I think the reason why the Jays have given him so many chances is because he's a lefty. They don't have many lefties, and they need guys that can play all over the diamond. And if he can just figure it out at the plate at the major league level, like he walks so much, and he's a smart hitter. He's a smart hitter, but he just has not been able to put it together at the major league level. And injuries have played a part in that. But I don't know what his role on this team is. Like, we have so many good second basemen. Like, I wouldn't play him over Whit Merrifield. I wouldn't play him over Santiago Espinal. And I wouldn't feel comfortable starting him in the outfield either. So that's my only thing with him. And I think he can be a very valuable piece to the Blue Jays because he's unique. They don't have many guys that hit from the left-hand side and many guys that can play multiple positions, but he can. So if he starts to play well, then he will get a chance. He'll get a chance to make a move and be in the lineup every single day.
Yeah, I completely agree. We had a super chat by Leafs Digest. Let's play the animation. Is the animation going to work? I really hope it does. Might not be working right now. Hold on. I'll try to get it for you, Zach. If not, though, he said, need everyone to go hit that like and subscribe ASAP. Unacceptable. Thank you so much, Leafs Digest. Check them out if you love Leafs hockey. They post content over there all the time. I got to figure out where. Oh, hold on. I'll get you the super chat, Zach. I'm getting you the super chat.
Shout out, man.
Shout out Leafs Digest. And here is the super chat. Not laggy. The stream is fixed.
Baby. There it is.
Super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you, Zach. Hey, sure to hit the subscribe button. He's right. And yeah, I agree with what you said, Peter. Sorry, I kind of zoned out there for a second.
Corey here. Corey, Espinal, Tiedemann, and Kirk for Ian Happ. No way, man. That's so much to give up for 1 year of Ian Happ. Wow.
Maybe if his contract was longer, it'd be a bit more reasonable.
Yeah, but still, that's so much. Like, so I wouldn't even do Tiedemann for Happ.
So Adam, I'm gonna put your trade in the trade machine in 1 second. I'm gonna keep it up here. So Chappie for pitching and go after Devers with prospects. So people are saying, which is a decent point. Obviously, apparently the shift will help Kiermaier hit better along with Biggio. Biggio could definitely value from the shift. He hits tons of line drives to right field. Tons of stuff everywhere. Thanks again for the super chat. But yeah, tons of line drives everywhere. Keon Kola and Ian Kennedy would be good bullpen pieces. I completely agree. What's up, Anthony? How you doing?
Hey, Anthony. Metallica, thank you so much for your question, by the way. It was really, really insightful. I've always loved Kevin Biggio and what he could possibly bring to the team. I just wish he was more consistent. And sometimes I wish he would swing the bat a little bit more too, because he's got some power and he's got some potential, and he could be so valuable for this Blue Jays team. So I hope he really breaks out this year. That would be a pleasant surprise for us all. And I want to talk a little bit about this question over here
Yep.
by asking 365. Gurriel's very streaky. Do you think they should trade him, or would you keep him? What do you think, Nick?
Gurriel, I think they ride with him. I think they definitely ride
Yeah.
with him in left field. I mean, based on how this free agency has went, we haven't really gotten any other options. Maybe if they make a bunch of trades and shake it up, but I think Gurriel is another key piece to the team. And I don't know about trading Teoscar and Gurriel in the same offseason. That change up
No.
the chemistry probably a bit too much. And regarding Biggio, I think they keep him as kind of. I think Kiermaier's going to play more than we think, and I think he's going to take over more of like the Tapia role. I don't know. They can slide in Biggio anywhere on a given day because he can play every position.
Yeah, and on Gurriel, I'll touch a little bit on him before we go to the next topic here. I think a lot of people are undervaluing him. The power wasn't really there last season, but the guy looks good, man. The guy was a hot hitter before he went down with injury, and I think people are sleeping on him. Like, yeah, we lost Teoscar Hernandez, but we were missing Lourdes Gurriel for the better part of like half the season. So he's always been a productive hitter, and if the power comes back, which I think it will this year, 15 to 20 homers, man, that's another scary lineup that the Blue Jays could trot out on opening day.
Yeah, these trades are all exciting. I'm just making up this trade. We're gonna pop up here. Another question. I would say Biggio. They give another chance depending on how he hits in spring training. What do you guys think? I don't
And the
know.
shift is gone too, Eric said, so that could help Biggio quite a bit.
Shift definitely will help a ton. Gurriel is a great singles hitter. His power fell off over the past couple of years. So we have another trade that I'm just gonna pop up here, Peter. If you want to discuss something while I make
Mhm.
that, I'm just gonna quickly finish making that, and then we'll jump right into it.
Raul with the $5. Thank you so much,
Oh,
man. You got to pop it up. You got to pop
I
it
got
up,
it. I
Nick,
got it. I'm
before
coming. I'm
you.
coming. Raul, here it is. Super chat rule says,
And
go. You go. You take it, Peter.
yeah,
You take it.
okay. Hot take. Swanson is on tier 2 of shortstops. He had one great season. I don't think teams see him as a 200 or $300 million guy. Teams won't bid for him. Okay, you're right. I don't think he's a superstar level shortstop. I agree with you on that, but this market is unbelievable. And if a 30-year-old Xander Bogaerts is getting $275 million, you can guarantee that Dansby Swanson is going to get 300 plus. He's 25 years old, I think. So, dude, the guy's gonna get paid. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how good he is. This market is a buyer's market, and
Yeah,
we will
Swanson.
get paid.
Yeah, I don't know, but we'll see. The Bogarts thing kind of shook things up. Obviously, Bogarts is a two-time World Series winner, a bit more proven than Swanson throughout his career. But Swanson's 4 years younger, so it'll probably even out. I don't know what his market is. It'll probably
Yeah,
be at least 250. Who knows? It might eclipse 300. We
at
honestly,
least
it's gonna be tough. Who knows? Maybe he'll sign for
it's up.
180, and like Kodai Senga did yesterday, super cheap.
It's up to him. It's up to him because does he want another big payday, or is he going for broke here? Is he signing a 12-year deal and then not getting paid again, or is he gonna go for like a 5-year deal and then try to hit free agency when he's 30 again when the market goes up? So
Yeah, who knows?
that's another way to look
It'll
at
be
it.
very interesting to see what contract he gets. I don't know if it'll be. I guess it completely depends. Like 300 million over 14 years might be something crazy. Bo's better than any of them at his age. I would agree if you're talking about
Yeah.
Swanson and Xander. Um,
Hmm.
I don't know. Correa, we can argue for. They probably move Bo to second
Hmm.
base before even thinking about trading him due to his defense. That's a very, very good point, and is probably what the front office is thinking.
But does Bo want to do that?
That's the
Will
question.
Bo
Who knows?
accept moving to second base? Because I don't know. I don't know. Like
Thank you again, Raul, for the
who
super chat.
said? Yeah, thank you, Raul. Sago Will said, if Bo has another 25 error season, is he made available next offseason? I don't think any player is not available unless they're Alek Manoah or Vladimir Guerrero Jr. So if someone comes to the Jays with an unbelievable offer for Bo Bichette, I'm sure they'll listen
I,
and they won't hang up the phone right away. But
I agree.
um, uh, yeah, I just don't. I've been on record saying that I don't know if the Jays had time to wait for Bo Bichette to figure it out at shortstop, but that's up to them. If he's made a considerable stride this offseason and they feel confident with him going into the next year, then maybe they give it another shot. Who knows?
Yeah, that's a good point. Why don't the Jays trade with the Marlins to acquire what they need for Reynolds, Lopez, or whatever? Worst case, they don't get him, but do get a Miami package to keep? Isn't that a win-win? Yeah, but I feel like it is. It's a good point. It's just those things are super hard to three GM trades are hard to do. Though the Jays do have connections with the Pirates front office. Espinal, Tiedemann, and Jansen for Burns and Yelich. It would take a lot more than that to get Burns. Do you think
Yeah.
Bo has lived up to the hype he had as a prospect? People were comparing him to his dad, expecting. I think, yeah, he's definitely lived up to the hype. He's one of the best shortstops in the league. His defense is just obviously, but he's so young that saying he didn't live up to the hype would be I think a bit of a disservice to him.
I honestly think he exceeded the
Yeah, definitely,
expectations because
definitely.
when he was in the minor leagues, it was all about Kevin Biggio and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Everyone knew Vladdy would be special. Kevin Biggio, I mean, the guy is just like the perfect ball player. His dad was the perfect ball player, and I think those were the two guys that were really pegged for like superstardom. And then Bo kind of came out of nowhere. He rose through the ranks and really made his mark on this team. So for him to be so successful, his dad was a corner outfielder, and now he's a major league shortstop. So I think he exceeded expectations.
I think
That's what I
I think
think.
I think he'll be very, very, very good, and I think he'll end up probably staying with the Jays. This is gonna be a huge, assuming they keep him in the offseason. This is gonna be a huge year for Bo
Mhm.
Bichette and the Blue Jays in general. Would Burns be great for the Jays? Absolutely. Can't really ask for a better
Yeah,
pitcher to get. It would just take probably it would take I don't it would take everyone. The Jays should go after Alex Reyes and Chris Bassett and Conforto and Benny. Definitely agree with
Brantley,
Reyes could be a good
I guess.
Benny Benintendi,
Benintendi. Okay.
which we
My
haven't
bad.
spoken on too much. I think he could be a decent at
No.
this point. He could be a decent addition too, especially because we got an elite center fielder and Kevin Kiermaier now. Chris Bassett is someone else we haven't really spoken about too much. Alex Reyes I saw pop up a little bit. He would be a very solid reliever. And
Hmm.
Conforto, obviously, we're on the Conforto team. Let's go back to some trades. Let's get them going. I have a couple more popped
Yeah.
up here.
Before we do that,
Yep.
I know Peter's opinion, but Bo's ceiling is just too high to trade him for anything else than an absolute superstar shortstop replacement. I don't know. If you okay, let me ask you this. I don't know how to say that name, but let me ask you this: would you trade him for a package involving Sandy Alcantara?
That's a good question. And while you're
That's
answering,
I mean, I don't know if the Marlins would do it, but like, let's say that was proposed to you. Like, would you accept a trade
Bo for
centered around
Sandy,
Bo for Sandy? I would do
I
that all
think
day.
I think I would as well. Let's move to a couple trades. That's a very, very good
Yeah.
question. I think we definitely would pop up this year. Also, we had someone else talk about Bassett qualifying offer attached. It's a very good point that I didn't mention. We would have to give
Yeah.
up a pick for him as well. But the Jays at this point they might have to do that. Brian Reynolds to the Jays for a bag of Lay's chips per Ken Rosenthal. Pirates rants. That would love that. Any chance Stripling comes back? Yeah, very good chance. Very good chance. Would you guys be able to throw Jordan Hicks on the trade value thing? Oh, and I got you. I'll do that right after this trade. I forgot to do it last time. Actually, I'll do that right now for you. Check. He's on the
Would
card.
Dre's bring back Marcus Stroman? I don't think so. He just signed a long-term deal with the
Jordan
Cubs.
Hicks has
So
a .4 median, meaning very, very barely above average. So this is the trade. Martinez, this was proposed by you guys, and throw any other trades you have at us, and we'll pop them all on the trade machine now. So this is Martinez,
Mhm.
Moreno, and Tiedemann, all of our prospects for Brian Reynolds alone. I don't think the Jays do that. I think if you had Bednar, maybe it would be a bit more of a conversation. Sandy's value is so high; it is one of the highest out of any player in baseball.
yeah, this trade is weird because the Pirates don't need a catcher. So I mean, any Brian Reynolds trade, I think, has to start with Tiedemann and Arovis Martinez, not one of the two. I think that's how it starts, and then you maybe add a couple mid-tier prospects as well. I think that's the only way you get Brian Reynolds, but not Gabby Moreno because they simply, I mean, they don't need him. Everyone needs a guy like Gabby Moreno, but they have their catchers of the future in the minor leagues. So,
Yeah,
um,
I wouldn't do this if I was the Jays, anyways. To be honest, not for just Brian Reynolds. Leave Tiedemann out of these trades. He should be untouchable. I'm kind of on that train as well, but I don't think untouchable. I think if it's for Reynolds, if it was just Tiedemann for Reynolds straight up, then you might have to do it, but not Tiedemann and Moreno. There's no way that this there's no way the Jays do this trade, right? There's no shot.
Yeah, no, I'm not giving up. I think Moreno is our only untouchable guy. I was on the train of like maybe trading him, but dude, the guy's gonna be special.
Yeah.
I realized how stupid I was for saying that. Like, no, Moreno is our guy. I think he's gonna catch like 60-70% of our games next year, and we're gonna build around him. We're not gonna look to trade him. So Moreno is untouchable, but I don't think Tiedemann is because he's still a ways away from the major leagues. Like he might come up later in September this year, but
Yeah.
who knows? Like, can you rely on him to pan out? Pitchers are so volatile. What if he gets hurt? Like
Yeah,
knock
that's
on
that's
wood.
that's a crazy
I,
thing.
I pray that he doesn't get hurt, but pitchers get hurt all the time, whether it be Tommy John. Like they're very fragile, and that's why pitchers don't get 12-year deals in free agency, but position players do. So that's my only thing.
Cyclone saying Tiedemann could make the team next year. I think he, honestly, I think
May he could he
yeah,
could
it's very
yeah.
possible, though. Again, like Peter said, prospects are everything points to Tiedemann being a stud. People say the next lefty Alek Manoah. It's possible, but at the same time, if you can trade him for a superstar, you kind of got to do it. Though I don't know.
Ryan Reynolds is a superstar, man. Like let's call it what it is. Well, the guy's right. He's top 15, top 20 player in the league for a
Yeah,
prospect any day of the
I
week,
think one
man.
for one,
Any day of the week.
you'd probably you'd do it, but. Starting pitcher, if the deal is right where we can get a solid starting pitcher or a center fielder, then maybe I sort of really want to hold on to him. Tiedemann is probably next season. Yeah, he's probably later next season, or never know with injuries. Manoah was forced into being called up, and he one of the best
Yeah.
pitchers in the MLB now. So you don't really know. But in the same vein, Tiedemann, hopefully he doesn't. But injuries happen. Imagine if the Mets miss the playoffs. Mets just have.
Oh my God.
Let's
No
talk
way.
about
No.
Kodai Senga for a second here. 5 years, $75 million. That is way cheaper than I thought Senga was going to get. The Mets just
Me
keep adding.
too, man. Me too. But I don't think the Jays were ever considered by him. Like if I'm being honest. Like
Fun fact, you
didn't
bring
even
that
get it.
up. I have a screenshot about that as well. So
Yeah.
let's quickly talk about that. I don't know if it is where is it here? Right here. The Blue Jays scouted Senga heavily and definitely liked him, but at the winter meetings I was told they were not at the forefront of suitors. Big bet from the Mets' ability to translate. Guessing the Jays felt they needed more certainty. So clearly the Jays weren't at the forefront for Senga, which is really disappointing. But I think it may have been, who knows if it was more, Jays not interested or Senga not interested. It's
Yeah, he didn't visit Canada, so I don't know. It's tough. It's tough.
It is very tough. Question from Asking 360. Which of the three catchers would you trade, as they are all very different? We had a couple videos on that, but we'll touch on it now as well. And I'll ask the chat, Kirk, Moreno, or Jansen, who would you rather trade? I think for me at this
Can we
point
do
in
a
time,
poll? Can we do a poll in the chat?
Yeah. I think we can. If not, then just type the player while I try to figure that out. I know there's a way. Let's put it duos. But yeah, I think while we're figuring that out, who would you pick out of those three? I'm thinking Jansen. Yeah.
Danny Jansen, yeah. Danny Jansen. I still think you can
All right,
get
we're gonna
quite a bit
poll.
of
We're gonna
value
poll
for him.
going. Which
There you go.
catcher
There you go.
would you rather trade? All right, guys. We're gonna go with
Love it.
Jansen.
Love
Oh, we accidentally put the super chat up.
Oh,
Jansen.
hopefully
Moreno,
it's
Kirk.
not an accident. Hopefully we gotta put it up soon.
Ask your community. All right, guys, start the vote. Here it is. Let's see. I'm very curious.
Eric
to see
says
this.
trade two catchers.
I've seen people say that as well.
That's interesting. That's interesting. But then you got to go sign a backup, and you're kind of creating a hole at the catcher position, which is your probably biggest strength on your roster. So
I like
know.
Barrios, hoping for a bounce back year. Me too. Peter's big on that as well.
Same.
Yeah.
Big on it. It's too good to not be good.
Completely
it's too
agree.
Good to not be good.
At the end of the day, it's a player choice whether they want to sign with the team. Yep. I think he'll be without the pressure. Our manager straight up said they are both not making the opening day roster, unfortunately. Yeah, I think that's what their hope was until signed Barnhart. Be interesting. I love Peter.
Yeah.
Don't we all?
That's my guy Ryan.
How you doing, Ryan?
Good dude. He's a Rays fan though.
Yikes.
Don't love that. Don't
Ricky
love
Tiedemann
that.
is kind of overhyped. His windup looks wild, and it could cause control issues. And it's not like he would blow guys away with a 95-mile-per-hour fastball. It is a very hot take, Owen.
I don't know if he's not overhyped, but
Well, we won't know until he pitches.
he's not overhyped, but there are guys out there that are like already proven superstars at the major league level that you could probably get in return for him. So I don't know.
So with the poll, 67% said Jansen, 15% Moreno, 18% Kirk. That's actually interesting.
Moreno and Jansen for Dalton Varsho, as he could be a catcher on some days. I kind of like that. I kind of like that, but I still don't know if I want to trade Moreno. Like that would scare me. That would kind of scare
Yeah,
me.
it would. It
And
makes go
the
ahead.
do the Diamondbacks need two catchers in return?
Maybe they move Moreno to a outfield or something like that. Move stuff all
Varsho's
around.
sick though. Varsho's sick.
Why not Moreno? Jansen? Why not Moreno? Jansen is proven and Moreno isn't, and Jansen is still young. It's a good point. He's not super young, but he's. I think Moreno is just so no one wants to trade Moreno here. Reunion with Syndergaard, good bullpen option too. I agree with you, Will. I think Syndergaard.
Moreno is proven. Moreno is proven. He just didn't have enough time at the major league level, but the guy adjusted so quickly. He adjusted so quickly.
He did. Yeah, but by proven, I'm assuming he means 100 games in the MLB.
I guess.
The only thing that is a worry for Moreno, and I think this is literally the only thing. Well, there's two things that are kind of people who don't like him is his game calling, which I think will just take time. And I think he'll be perfectly fine, and his power. Power has fallen off drastically later in his minor league career towards the MLB. So that's the other worry, especially compared to Jansen, who is on track for like 30 home runs in a full healthy season.
Okay, I'll say something about Moreno before we move on here. Yes, his game calling needs work. He's not as good as Kirk or Jansen yet, but he didn't have spring training to like acclimate with the pitching staff. He's gonna have that this year. Like he has months to prepare. When pitchers report to camp, they're the first ones that report, and catchers are there alongside with them. So he's going to be able to pick their brains and talk to them months before the season even gets started and kind of get to know their tendencies and how they want to pitch. So that'll help him out a lot. And second, the guy, yeah, his power fell off a little bit there, but he's a catcher. Like you don't need your catcher to hit 40 home runs, but he's still capable of being a 300 hitter at the major league level, and he's so athletic that you don't have to pinch run for him ever. You can let him run the bases. That's also rare out of a catcher. So I think he's the full package, and he should be your number one catcher by opening day.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you there. It's very good points. Adam Foley, we have a few questions just popped like rapid fire. Adam Foley hits us with, do you think the Jays will go out and sign Rodon? No, I don't think they will. Jays go after Machado if he opts out. Peter, what are your thoughts on that? Just quickly, I think obviously they should definitely go after him. I don't think they get him. I think they could go after him.
Well, you can go after anybody.
There
but,
it is. That's the
Machado. I mean, he still has a year before he can opt out. So
I saw a comment saying
something to look at
that Jake McCarthy is more like, or McCarthy is available, but Thomas and Varsho untouchable from Cam. Yeah, that. I wouldn't mind Jake. He's a bit on the lower end of Mike Freiberg. Welcome back, Mike. When we sign Rodon and trade for Reynolds, we will win the AL East. I'm going to end this poll now. It ended up with 68% saying Danny Jansen, which is kind of expected. Thank you all for voting.
12% Moreno. Okay.
Yep. Make sure to hit the like button if you join.
How about this? The ones that did vote Moreno, give us your trade. Give us the trades that you would include him in. That's what I want to see.
Or name some players.
That's what I'm curious.
Or name some players that you would trade Moreno for. Do you think Jay should go after Thor? I do think they should go after Noah Syndergaard, and I have a weird feeling they will. I have a weird feeling they will. Great point. That's why I say Kirk is the odd man out. Yeah, Scott. It's
valid.
Honestly, it's the hardest decision. It's the decision of the offseason is what to do with those catchers. Hot take. Espinal, Kyle Johnston, and Addison Barger to the Marlins for Braxton Garrett. Braxton Garrett is very underrated. His wind-up delivery. That's a lot of players in a trade. You guys want to get rid of Espinal?
Will here. Sorry. Team ERA was north of 6, I believe, with Moreno. Yeah, no, they were not good when he was behind the plate, but it's so unfair to a catcher to bring him up towards the end of a season with a pitching staff that isn't used to him. So he's going to have the entire offseason now to get used to his pitching staff.
Yeah, I agree.
That's my whole point. Like you can't when a team trades for a catcher, they never trade for him mid-season because you're setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah, and especially
that's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. And if he ends up coming up, starting the season with the Jays, and he ends up not doing well regarding calling games, and then maybe we can have a question, but it's a bit too soon for that. I'm
Mhm.
working on a trade package now. I'll let you know when it's done. And we'll pop it in the trade simulator. Pirates might not want Gurriel rental. Someone said I also saw it earlier. Sign Gurriel's brother, Yuli. Be interesting. We're too
No,
clogged up at first base, unfortunately. Moreno, Tiedemann, Martinez, and Biggio for Tatis Jr. and Nola.
that's nuts. This guy's a madman. Who is that? Who said that? Corey, you're a madman. That's
Uh,
nuts.
I
That's
would do the
insane.
deal, Corey.
Tatis
I would do the
Jr.
deal.
You would do that?
Is Manoah, Gosman, Barrios, White, Pearson good enough? No, absolutely not. They're definitely signing another
Nick, you
starting
would do
pitcher.
that trade? Are you serious?
I don't know. I'm gonna
That's
look at
nuts,
it.
dude. No,
I'm not even gonna entertain. The chances of that happening are zero,
no, but like it's all hypotheticals.
and probably not. I
Arizona
don't.
won't trade Kirk.
We have too
And,
many.
yeah,
We have too. Moreno better off playing third base on occasion. It worked for Donaldson when he was on the A's. Moreno playing third base would be very interesting. Though the thing I always preach about that is, Moreno's value, most of his value, or a lot of its value, I'll say, is behind the dish.
yeah,
Elite defender, and obviously, if you're talking about him catching, let's say 100 games a year, or even 90, and him playing, 30 games in the field, I'm not catching. That could be interesting. Arizona won't trade Corbin. That would be sweet, though. I agree, Eric. Corbin Carroll, I believe, is untouchable, but he'd be nuts. He's so cool. I love him.
Corbin Carroll.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's sick. He's got
he's
crazy,
he's
crazy
awesome.
drip. Yeah,
Moreno got
he's unreal.
thrown into the fire a bit when Jansen got injured. I don't blame him for struggling with chemistry. He needs experience. I agree. Experience for every catcher. Obviously, there's a few exceptions like Adley Rushman, but like for the most part, catching you need to be up there for a while. And Moreno's hitting was solid. Obviously, the power was a bit lacking, but can we? Oh,
But
go ahead.
Adley Rutschman, people forget he's also like 24 years old. He's turning 25 next season. It's
Which
not
is
like
crazy.
you brought up some like 20-year-old kid that just was a god behind the plate. Like he was one of the best players in college baseball. He's been a leader his entire way up the minor league rank. Like you can't really compare him to Gabby Moreno. Like it's kind of unfair to do that as well.
Rush,
So Rutschman was
he's
like
unreal.
unreal. The guy, I think he's the best catcher, second best catcher in the league
Yeah,
behind JT Realmuto, and I wouldn't be surprised if he passes him up this year.
some charts
So
had him as number one, which
I I
can't.
I,
Yeah,
I don't
I don't
mind
know.
that. I don't mind that. The guy's insane, and
It's
I'm so pissed off that we have to play against him for the
yeah.
next probably 15 years. Guy's
It's
nuts.
unfortunate. Well, what about Kepler and the Jays? Kepler would be cool. People are talking about. I think I saw a report. Danny Jansen for Kepler 1-for-1 would be cool. I want the Jays to play Moreno at second base. That would be wild. I saw a really good comment here. By where was it? I think I missed it. Yeah, I did miss it. Either way, Michael Brantley would be a great fit for the Jays. Thor is 100% no for me. Thor is like a fifth starter maybe. Pearson is bullpen for me from Terra Armor. Yeah,
Yeah, I agree with that. No, his ship as a starter has sailed. Yeah.
Corey, Thor, Brios, Gosman, Ryu, Kikuchi. That's a great starting rotation. I don't know about Grace. But where's Manoa?
Where's Manoa? Where's Manoa?
Adley's my favorite player already. Adley is a stud.
He
He's
is
great.
awesome.
It's unfortunate we gotta play Orioles are coming up. Orioles are on the come up. I don't think they're there yet. They're not there yet. Oh,
Scary team.
I found the
Scary
comment.
team.
Dolce saying getting Moreno's bat into the lineup when he isn't catching and without clogging the DH spot is really nice. Yeah, it really is. And the question is then though, as a catcher, obviously it takes a big toll on your body, and there's not many catchers who are playing the infield, so you'd have to be very, very careful with having him catch one night, going out to second or third base the next night, and you got to be careful, especially with young players. Obviously, their body is they're not like
I don't.
they heal quick, but
Yeah, I don't think Moreno DHs ever. Honestly,
yeah,
on this team, there's too many guys ahead of him in the DH pecking order. Like if they keep Kirk, then Kirk would be the primary DH. George Springer has to DH a lot. Vladdy gets his days every now and then. So no, I don't think Moreno will ever DH. Like he'll catch a lot of games and give Kirk the night off, but there's too many guys ahead of him And his bat's not powerful enough to be a DH. I don't think.
The animation finally worked. Let's get a like spike. I'll pop it up one more time. Let's get a like spike in the chat. If you're watching, make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I didn't mean to do that while you're speaking, Peter, but it finally worked. So it popped
No,
up
no,
there.
no, go ahead.
Make sure to hit the like button if you're enjoying the stream. So we had a question. Adam, I'll get Adam's real quick. Jansen Martinez, Otto Lopez, and a top 20 prospect for Tristan McKenzie and Emmanuel Clase. I think the Guardians laugh at that. I don't think they accept that deal. So question for, I guess, the chat as well, and you, Peter, I'll ask specifically. Who do you think is going to be better, the Orioles or the Red Sox? The question was framed, will the Orioles be better than the Red Sox? So I think the answer is yes. I think the Orioles will be better than the Red Sox. What are your thoughts on that?
I agree. I think the Orioles are coming up, man. And in 2 years, I think they'll be the best team in the AL East.
Oh,
And that's not a slight. That's not a slight on like anybody in the division. It's probably the hardest division in baseball. Also, the NL West is really good, but no, I think they're a year or two away from being the top dog in
I
the AL
think
East.
second. I think we're going to be the top dog in a couple of years.
You think so? I don't know,
really
man.
do.
Orioles, dude. Gunnar Henderson, when he's got a couple years in the major leagues, Adley Rutschman looks like a generational talent, like the next Buster Posey. I
think
don't know, man.
it got to be the Jays.
They're scary.
I think they'll be
hope
right
it's the
there.
Jays.
I think they'll be right there.
I hope it's the Jays, but the Orioles are good, man.
Ryu could be in helping Moreno since he got a variety. Orioles will be better in the Red. Yeah, Orioles will definitely be better. Orioles are signing Correa, I think. Could be very interesting. At this rate, the Orioles will be better than the Jays this year. Sago, no. Not yet.
No, not this
yet.
year.
I don't think they will ever be better. It depends on what moves they make, but I think in a couple years they'll be. I think they'll be fighting with the Jays at the top and the Yankees as well. I think the division is crazy. What is your thoughts?
Grayson Rodriguez. That's Eric. That's who Eric shouted out there. Grayson Rodriguez. That's their top prospect. He's coming up. Guy's unbelievable. He's going to be their ace for a long time in Baltimore.
Wander or Bo? Probably Wander.
Wander.
It's close though. It's very, very close.
It is close, but Wander is like.
What is up with the Rangers and Mets? They have endless money, especially the Mets. They just spend. They spend. If we get Brantley, would you squeeze him into the? Where would you squeeze him into the lineup? Or Reynolds? Reynolds is easy. You just throw him in center field, have him hit like second or something. But Brantley, that would be tough.
That's why I don't want to get him, because he has to DH a lot. He's getting older. He gets injured a lot, and he can't really be a reliable option in the outfield. So I don't know if I feel comfortable getting Michael Brantley, because it just ties your hands a little bit more.
In a couple of years, it will be the battle of the birds in the AL East for top spot. I agree, and I would love to see it. I don't mind the Orioles compared to like the Yankees and such. And would you trade Jansen Martinez, a top 20 prospect, for Jazz Chisholm? That's a good question. It's a really good question. Probably would.
But where does he fit then?
You just
where
move Bo to second, throw Jazz at short, I guess. Trade Espinal.
I don't know. I guess, but
it's
if I want to trade my catcher, I'm trading him for a position of need, not another shortstop.
Yeah, it's definitely Moreno and Bichette should be utility guys. Wow. Could he fit in the
Where
top?
would we hit Brantley in the lineup? Where would he hit lineup?
He's a phenomenal contact hitter.
I'd say sixth.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't put him 2. I wouldn't put him like 2 or 5. Like,
honestly,
like 6.
It's so hard because like who would you? It's not really. There's no real world where a current lineup just slides Michael Brantley in without getting rid of anyone else. If Brantley is willing to settle for 400 plate appearances, I say we get him. Peralta, Conforto, and the Jays would be great. Where would Peralta fit? If Peralta, I mean, I guess he'd start if we ended up signing him, and then you just slide him in like the 7th or 8th hole. Brantley number 5. I could see Brantley as a 5 hitter. What's up, Jordan? Jordan N said Springer, Bo, Reynolds, Vladdy. It's the dream. It's a dream. Is it a likely dream? No. 8th for 8th in the lineup. Yeah, but you don't want your first left hitter coming up at 5th.
You think Ryu retires? I don't know. Maybe. He's only coming back towards the end of the year, but I don't know how much.
Man, watch Ryu.
How much he'll pitch.
Do you think Chris Sale of the Red Sox is washed?
Yes.
Maybe. He's too injury prone. What's your dream lineup in 2023?
This is Ryan's brother, the guy that said Peter's sexy before. This is his twin brother, Tyler.
Awesome. What's up, Tyler?
He's a Pirates fan. He's actually a Pirates fan.
What
So
if we
that's
trade
super random.
back? What's up, Brian, or Tyler? How you doing? What if we trade back for
My dream
Tellez?
lineup in 2023 is Brian Reynolds hitting second in our lineup. That's
Peter
what my
loves a
dream
bit of
lineup.
Brian Reynolds. If the Jays can get Reynolds without giving up Kirk, yeah, don't know about that though. Brantley and Kirk back to back is a bad idea. Yeah, well, that would be pretty.
Not enough power. Not enough power
Yeah,
there.
I think it's honestly just get us the players and we'll John Snyder and Don
Figure it
and
out.
Donnie baseball, baby. We'll sort
Donnie
that.
baseball, baby.
Evaldi
baseball.
Evaldi and Stripling is 4th and 5 starters. I could get behind that, especially if we get another pitcher for our third starter. How do we save the
Need a
offseason?
lefty. Need a lefty.
Jerkson Profar. That's another guy that people are commenting. We might have to make
Yeah.
a video on that because we really might have to make a video on that. He's a stud. I love him.
Solid.
What do you think Hamels thinking about coming back? I don't want the Jays touching Hamels with a 10 feet pole. Though he's a lefty, if that means anything.
He's a lefty.
He's a lefty.
If you learn how to throw lefty, Nick, you might get
I could go up there.
consideration.
I would give up
Good
Kirk
spot
in a Reynolds trade. I would as well. Do you think Brantley would start in center and then get pulled in the 7th or so, kind of like Springer last year?
No.
Brantley would not
No
start in
way.
center. If he starts in a corner outfield spot, I could see Kiermaier coming in, moving Springer to right, but he would not start in center. There's no way.
If Brantley ever plays center field for the Toronto Blue Jays, turn your TV off.
Peter
Turn it off.
will shave his head if he ever plays center field for the Blue Jays.
I will do whatever you want me to do in the comment section if Michael Brantley is ever in center field in a Blue Jays uniform.
Trey Moreno,
I'll lose
Jansen,
my
and
marbles.
Kirk for Derek Fisher, Ben Shuttleworth. I don't know. I don't want any more Derek Fisher in my life. That was not a good trade for either side.
You think Gosman's luck will be better next season? Yeah, the shift is gone. So that was a big reason as to why all those dribblers on the right side were getting through against him. So I think he's going to have a repeat dominant year. He's going to be a solid number 2 behind Alek Manoah. The guy is just a straight up stud. So happy we have him instead of Robbie Ray. The guy's unreal.
He's a beauty. Question for you guys in the chat. We're going to be doing weekly live streams. Would you guys prefer Sundays or Wednesdays? We're not 100% sure we can do every Sunday yet. It's going to be weekly. But would you prefer Wednesdays or Sundays? I'm actually going to throw up a poll for this because this is a pretty important question here. We're going to be doing every week
Yeah, we're going to have to be flexible, though, Nick and I, because we both have other jobs. So it could be either Wednesday, it could be Sunday, but we'll take what you guys want into consideration for sure.
Let's see, Wednesday, Sunday. Start the poll. Let's just figure this out here now. And we're going to be doing lots of other stuff. We got lots of stuff planned for these live streams. Sundays. I think Sundays is going to be the consensus. And I think what we'll probably end up doing is every Sunday we can do it. We'll do it. If not, we'll make a community post or something and just do it Wednesday on days where we can't do it Sunday because it's usually both. We could do
maybe.
Honestly,
maybe.
it could be done.
We'll see.
It could be done.
We'll see.
Blue Jays today does a chat.
Blue Jays today does a chat on Friday. Okay, perfect.
So
Then
Sunday,
you got us on
Sunday,
Wednesday.
Yeah. Sunday,
Wednesday and maybe
83%.
Ooh, Nick, man, you're gonna have to clear up some time, baby.
Well, I think
Time.
the best play would be Sundays when we can, and then Wednesdays if not. So you're guaranteed one of those 2 days. Also, I guess we should just announce some of the stuff we got planned for the streams and now give people who are in here a sneak peek. Or Peter, I don't even know if you heard. I mean, you have about all this, but we're gonna be doing call-ins as well on the streams. Not today. We don't have it fully set up, but we're gonna be doing call-ins to where you guys can. We'll get your guys' opinions, especially regarding trades and stuff like that. We'll get you guys in the calls, talking about Jays, asking us questions, debating with Peter about trading Bo Bichette, and doing all that stuff. Any evening, and you'll probably draw a crowd. Yeah, it'll definitely be in the evening. But if you guys are interested in call-ins,
as long as you
let us
guys
know.
keep it clean, just keep
That's
it
it.
clean.
Yeah,
We'll have some
boundaries.
like that.
Would you guys like
We'll
call-ins though?
have some fun.
Yeah. Would you be interested in calling in and seeing and talking to us? Thank you, Mike. We really appreciate it.
Mike, I appreciate it, man. Really appreciate it, Mike. Thank you.
Let me know if you guys would be interested in the call-ins because we're definitely gonna be doing that. I'm gonna end the poll. We're still voting. I'll keep the poll up for a little bit. What's up, BDC? 79% is Sundays. Yeah. So we'll have to see both days. I should have put both days as an option, but I think that would have won. Teams are crazy giving players 5-year deals before even knowing if they'll be effective. It's the risk you got to take.
Don't do call-ins.
People will prank you.
Hmm.
And we'd have
That's okay.
Yeah, we'd have a
That's
quick.
okay. We can deal with it. We can deal with it as long as they don't swear.
Pirates don't need a catcher. It's a good point. Yeah, I'd love to call in.
Yeah.
We'd have ways to make sure that everything's all good. I'd love to call in. It's awesome, Rins. Would you take Real Muto on the Jays? Of course we would.
Well,
I remember those days.
yeah.
We that was not a pipe dream. Fortunately now it is. Okay, Sundays are looking like the.
No, we got our Real Muto. We got him. His name's Gabriel Moreno. Learn his name. We got him.
Gabby. No, if in theoretical worlds the Pirates asked for Kirk, I would do it 100%.
They won't though.
At the end of the
They
day,
won't ask
we are
for
all
Kirk.
Jays. If run prevention is his team's new mandate, they have to move Bo to second. That's a good point. Who do you guys think are the biggest busts in the MLB? I wouldn't even be able to tell you right now. What are just reasonable?
What is our
You got it.
What is our reasonable lineup in 2023?
I think just our current lineup with Conforto added. I think that's a reasonable lineup.
Mine is the same with Reynolds. Reynolds added, but that's a bit of a long shot. That's my dream, though. It's my dream lineup.
Gabriel Muto.
I like that.
But I agree. Kirk is the one that wouldn't fit. Kirk, I think, is better than Moreno. Definitely more proven, for sure.
Well, yeah, he's better right now, but
all right,
we'll have this conversation in 2-3 years.
What we'll do, we'll wrap up in a little bit here, but
Yeah.
let's get a couple of more of your trades. I'll throw a couple more. We're going back to the desktop view. I'll throw a couple more in the trade machine, and we'll go from there. So I'm gonna quickly end the poll though. Sundays are the winner. I agree with Peter. Peter has some good takes for sure. Regardless of if need, if you're willing to take the best prospect out, or one of your Pirates would take Moreno. Will you guys miss Tabby? Man, we will miss Tabby. Tabby was the man. But Dan Shulman. Dan Shulman's absolutely.
Dan Shulman, best in the business, baby. Best in the business. And if he's got Buck Martinez alongside him, then we're cooking. We're cooking with fire right there.
What do you guys predict the Jays will actually do for starting pitchers this offseason? Syndergaard and Stripling, I think, could be a cool two. Current bust is Tatis because he's not playing. It's a good point. Jordan says Reynolds added as a dream lineup. All right, guys, give me a couple trades. We'll throw these in, and then we'll start to wrap it up here. Right? We'll throw a couple of trades in. And what I'm also gonna do for the person who asked about Luzardo, I'll show you his stats for last year. If he's still here. 4-7 with a 3.32 ERA. This is Jesus Luzardo. He
100 innings, right?
Yeah, 100 innings. He had a great year last year. Obviously, before that,
How many Ks?
Bit of a bad 2021. He had strikeouts 120, so over a strikeout an inning.
Yeah,
he's an absolute stud.
Yeah.
What are you guys' favorite calls of all time? Calling it safe on when Donaldson dash, sweeping the Rangers.
A 1-1 from Dyson.
Yeah. Oh, true.
That's my favorite call.
Showman and Buck are Siddle best in baseball.
Baby.
Adley for
Joey
Vlad and
Bat.
Jano.
Oh,
You know what? I'm gonna throw that in here for a laugh.
just throw it. I just want to see the value, bro. I just want to.
And then I'm gonna ask Jays fans, what was the trade? It was what was it?
Adley for Jano and Vladdy.
How do you spell Russian? Okay. Oh Lord, his value is super high. Oh
It's like what 300? What is it?
no, only 160.
1/6 only.
Only 160. Let me get rid of. Okay, why is this on the Jays? Jays get Jansen and Martinez. What in the world? Let's refresh this.
That
Page.
doesn't.
Shulman and Buck. Why Conforto over Benintendi? I'll let Peter touch on that. It's a great question. Who would you rather, Conforto or Benintendi?
Honestly, Benintendi. We're not really talking much about him, but Benintendi is going to cost much more than Conforto, I think, and Conforto offers more power in the corner outfield, so it could be a better like a higher risk, high reward type thing for Conforto, as opposed to what you're getting in Benintendi, and it's going to cost you quite a bit. And
I agree. I think Benintendi would be a safer play for sure.
It would definitely be the safer play, but
Who was the trade for?
Conforto could
Rushman for Guerrero and
Jansen.
man, Guerrero's value is low, so they have the Orioles losing out in this trade by a wide margin. If you were the Blue Jays, would you do this trade? Yes or no in the chat. We're not going to get a poll. Just type yes or no if you would do this trade if you were the Blue Jays. The most unrealistic trade of the night. It would never happen in a million years. However, that's what we're here for. Speculation.
I think this like messes both teams over. Like I don't think this helps either team.
Yeah, I don't know a world where this gets done.
No.
I think if you're the Guerrero's value is a bit too low.
No, it's got to be higher than that. But
Eh,
like, I'm not trading my for Rutschman maybe, but like then you still have three
you would no,
catchers.
I wouldn't even know if I'd do that.
You
I
have
think
three.
Guerrero is the heart of our team. It would never happen. Conforto is better
No,
because he has more
no.
power and there's better potential. When
That
Conforto has played, he has been a stud for sure, especially power. Vladdy has proven maybe definitely unrealistic, Eric, for sure. Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
ain't no way, boy.
Yeah, no way the Jays do this. They want Jansen too. I guess to replace the Adley. Moreno and Tiedemann for Yelich. Whew, you would have to pay me to get Yelich. Do you guys do a UFC show? Jordan, we don't. However,
No.
we might try to get one out there for you. We were actually talking about that, but keep an eye out. I can see what I can do around that. The fight yesterday was great though. The fight yesterday was definitely great.
That this helps us, gives us two more catchers to trade for pieces.
Yeah, Ross loves Sago said this is an awkward trade. Very awkward trade. That's a great word to
Yeah,
describe
it's
it.
super weird.
Josh Hader, a good
That's
lefty
the
out of the
perfect
pen. Vlad will be the first $400 million player. Possible.
maybe.
The way the market's going. Vladdy out here being disrespected. Yeah, this
Yeah, this is crazy. Nuts.
it's based on like money. Do we have any other trades you guys want me to throw in? Bo and Kirk for Reynolds and Cruz. Throw that in there for you. What Cruz are we? Is it? Let's see.
O'Neal Cruz.
O'Neal.
O'Neal
Oh
Cruz.
gosh. All right. I was thinking of a reliever. I don't know if that I can. So who? Bo and what was the trade?
Bo and Kirk.
Okay. I'm gonna reset. Bo and Kirk for Cruz and Reynolds. Wow, that would be one of the most unreal.
I mean, I think it gets done. I think the value like matches up, but
So,
like on this thing, but it's weird.
all right,
Yelich stole 19 bags last season. Yeah, he forgot how to hit though.
all right, ignore Richards. What was it? Bo and who?
Bo and Kirk.
We're throwing in Trevor Richards in there as well because I misclicked it. Trevor Richards really swinging the deal here.
For
Reynolds and
Cruz.
All right, guys. Would you? I'm assuming it's this one. They have 3 Cruz. All right. Would you do this deal if you were the Blue Jays? Ignore Trevor Richards. Didn't mean to have him on there. That's fine. We
Yeah, I would do that.
Kirk and
What kind of
Lopez
net?
for Pablo Lopez. Kirk and Otto Lopez from Terra
Auto
Armour.
Lopez.
Kirk and Otto Lopez for Pablo Lopez. I don't know. That's close. Would you do that, Peter?
Huh?
Pablo Lopez for Otto and Kirk. Otto Lopez, that is.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Yes, I would.
I probably would too.
No, but Eric Yelich makes like quite a lot of money, so for his value that he's producing, not worth it. He can still hit a little bit, but the power is completely gone. It's not there anymore, and just I don't know. I don't know if he would help us. He would not help us.
People are
Makes too much
saying
money also.
yes, no. This is crazy, but I would. Hard no. How in the world does Bo have more value than Vladdy?
That's because of the years of control, and he's a shortstop. It's a premium position, but this site is really flawed. Like it's probably the best thing for MLB trade simulators, but
It is. Yeah.
it's still a lot wrong with it.
You have to keep it. You have to take
there
it
are
all. with a
players
grain
that
of
are
salt.
minus like 200 value. That nuts.
It kind of takes the front office into account. So when you're looking at this, you kind of got to look at it with face value and obviously use some common sense as well. Unless he's part of a burn trade. Look at the ALCS rotations. Lopez is a number 4 when it matters. He would be our number 3. Yelich gonna have a bounce back season. Could definitely happen. That Pirates Jays trade is like Joe Carter Alomar from the past from Rob Blunden. It is. It's a really good point. Jansen and pieces from Roman Laureano of the Athletics. That would be interesting. It'd be very interesting. Roman, he did get suspended for PEDs. However, he does have a phenomenal arm. Once upon a time, the Marlins were asking Vladdy for Yelich.
I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back. Gotta go do something.
No worries, no worries. Very flawed system. Definitely got to take it with a grain of salt. Would you do that trade? Bo, Kirk, Martinez, and Tiedemann for Trout or Ohtani? I don't know a world where that happens. To be honest with you, I mean maybe. I wouldn't even do Kirk for Reynolds straight up. Kirk has more potential. Yeah, but we need. I think you got to do it in the sense of we have 3 catchers. We need to have someone call Shakins, tell him to get the deal done. Sago, I will call him after the stream, tell him to do it up. Kirk gets 25 homers next year from Matt Hogg. I potentially think he's more of a low 20s guy. I agree. Could be done. Once upon a time, the Marlins were asking Vladdy in a Yelich trade. Let's look at Alejandro Kirk's baseball savant here. Something to do while we wait for Peter. I remember the Carter Alomar trade. That was crazy. It was crazy. Gallo on a 2-year deal or Benintendi on I would rather Benintendi definitely on a 4-year deal. So this is Alejandro Kirk's baseball savant. Unbelievable hitter. Unbelievable framer. The only thing, unbelievable baseball savant page. Literally just unbelievable. The only thing that he does not do well is obviously sprint speed. Barrel is 40th percentile, but his pop time, which is kind of two of the main catching metrics besides framing, which eventually might go away with automatic runners or automatic umpires. Sorry. Kirk's a stud. Martinez, Jansen, Gurriel for Reynolds. Plug it in. I got you. Lots of Reynolds trades here today. Lots of Reynolds trades. Welcome back. Okay, so we're going with Reynolds for what was it? Martinez, Jansen, and Gurriel. Why does I gotta reset? It always seems like but we're trying to will Brian Reynolds to the Blue Jays. That's what we're doing here today. We're just making
it's a consensus. We want him. We want him in Toronto.
Martinez, Jansen, Gurriel. Martinez. I wonder how other teams value Addison Barger. Martinez.
I value him really high. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Addison Barger. I think he's going to be our new Biggio, like that type of role.
I agree. Maybe better.
Maybe hot take, but I think
all right.
I think he'll be better.
So this is for you, Mike. Would you guys do this trade if you were the Blue Jays? I think the answer is yes. You absolutely do this trade.
What is it?
It's on this. It's Reynolds for Gurriel, Jansen, and Relvis. Peter's on to something. He is.
Onto what?
What am I onto? The Barger thing.
Ah. Okay. Thank you, Mike.
Would you do this trade?
I hope he pans out.
Let us know in the chat. I think I would.
I don't know. Haven't had enough time to think. I got here too late. This is all you guys.
Gurriel, Jansen, Martinez. Yes or no, Chad? If you were the Blue Jays, yes, 100%. Yes. I think if you can get Reynolds with Gurriel is valued low because obviously his defense is below average, and he doesn't hit for much power. But you'd be giving up. You're kind of you're giving yourself another hole in the outfield here by having Gurriel, getting rid of Gurriel. So you might have to get another outfielder. Tiedemann, Gabby, and Nate Pearson for Brian Reynolds. Nah, it's a bit too much.
I'll say this. I'll do anything to get Brian Reynolds to Toronto, as long as it doesn't include Gabby Moreno. That's it.
That's fair. That's a good way to. My bad if I'm.
And obviously, like Bo Bichette and Vladdy, like anyone but our like main core guys, I'm giving up for Brian Reynolds.
Kirk Martinez and Tiedemann for Sandy Alcantara. Would you do that trade? Yes, I would. 100%. I think the consensus is the Jays. You would do this trade if you were the Jays. This is an easy yes, so that means no for the Pirates. I agree, Sago, and I agree. The Pirates would not want Gurriel Jr. I don't think he's a bit too old, a little bit too old. I don't think they trade Tio if they plan on trading Kirk. Lourdes' value is low due to his becoming a free agent real soon. Yep, his age as well.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about Gurriel. They would need to get Conforto too. Yeah, if we made this trade, you would have to get Conforto or another outfielder as well to fill the left outfield spot, and then you fill Reynolds in center. Who knows? Add Manoah to the no trade list. Absolutely.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. Absolutely. That's a given. Yeah, it's a given.
Well, I'm sure there's some fans out there who would trade Manoah.
No way. There's no way.
Alcantara. I'm very curious. Let's check Alcantara's.
I think it's like in the 120s. Do you feel the Jays should have waited to trade Teo and put him in a trade for Reynolds? Well, I wouldn't think that Teo and a trade for Reynolds would get anything done. His value was not that high because he's going to become a free agent next offseason. And I think they should have waited based on the fact that they didn't have another move lined up already. So I think that's the only reason why we maybe should have held off on trading Teoscar Hernandez, because we didn't really know what we were doing next. Uh,
Yeah,
Peter, don't you think Kirk is a main piece on the Jays? I think he is, but I still value Gabby Moreno much higher than Alejandro Kirk, and I think he's going to be our catcher going forward. So I don't think he's untouchable, but I'd like to keep him as a catcher slash DH on in 2023. I'd love that for sure. I'd trade Jansen before trading Kirk.
Mike says not in Toronto. Manoah's retiring in Toronto. We hope so. Sago, what would it take to get Brandon Woodruff and Sam Frelick from the Brewers? I think it would take kind of similar package we're asking for Reynolds here. I think that's be in the realm of that.
I wouldn't put Tiedemann in a Woodruff package.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I wouldn't put Tiedemann, but I'd definitely go with a Relvis.
What do you guys think is the most realistic Reynolds trade? We don't know. Probably like Kirk and a couple of other prospects not named Tiedemann. I don't know.
Not Kirk. Not Kirk. Not Kirk. Because they don't need a catcher. They don't need a catcher.
Yeah, but I think the most realistic trade. I don't think. Who would you give up though? Because
okay. It starts. I think the most realistic for both teams.
Tiedemann.
It has to start with Tiedemann and a Relvis Martinez.
Yeah, definitely.
And then you probably add in a guy like Santiago Espinal to give them a major league player in return. You know.
Yeah, I just don't think. Maybe it gets done. I don't think they do it. I don't think
that's the only way. That's the only way talks get started. They just said they wanted a Juan Soto type return.
True. I could also see they maybe could go for Moreno. Maybe. How strong has the other teams in our division gotten? Red Sox gotten worse. Orioles will naturally get better. As of now, naturally get better. Yankees
Same. Will get better.
Yeah, they
I'm
will.
Sure, the Yankees will get better.
And then us, we've I don't know. As of right now, we've probably gotten slightly worse with losing Teo and Stripling as of now. So we'd have to say we got worse so far. But we did get an elite bullpenner in Eric Swanson. Got to give him credit where it is definitely due. Jensen and Martinez are at the most for Reynolds. Yeah, but the Pirates don't do that. What about bringing Ronald Acuna here? He's good friends of Vladdy. That would be a dream.
Yeah. He's untouchable, though.
John
Peter,
S.
don't forget they have the DH in the NL. Yeah, I know.
They do.
But they still don't want to have like 3 catchers because no, they don't need a catcher. They don't need a catcher. Kirk, Tiedemann, Martinez for. Sorry, Nick.
No, you're good. Go for it.
That's a cool trade. We'll address John S.
Yeah, John S. Sign Brantley, sign Thor, keep Tiedemann. Agreed. That would be cool. I don't know about Brantley though. I'd rather Conforto. Definitely. Yeah. I just feel like Conforto. I feel like signing Brantley restricts yourself. Like I feel like that would become a bigger issue than you may think. I think Conforto. He had a whole year off, so you like to think he's recovered a little bit.
That's true.
Yeah, maybe he
That's
didn't.
True.
I think Berger's gonna be really good. We all love Berger. We had a video about Berger.
Yeah, love Addison Barger. Think he's gonna be sick.
All right, we'll answer a few more questions here, and then we'll wrap it up. It is getting a bit late. It was a great live stream, though. We're gonna do this more often.
Yeah,
we're gonna do this more often.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool.
These catchers, their catchers are garbage. Do you think Acuna has fallen off, or is it just injury? I think he just had a bad year last year. I think he'll be perfectly fine next year.
Would the Rockies do what trade?
Kirk, Tiedemann, Martinez for Ryan McMahon and Connor Joe.
I wouldn't do that. I would not even. Ryan McMahon is like, he's fine, but no, I'm not including Tiedemann in a Rockies trade. No way. That's nuts. Ryan McMahon, I mean, he's a left-handed hitter. He's fine. He's solid okay.
Solid player. But he's not someone you give up Tiedemann for, though.
He's not a superstar. No. You only deal Tiedemann in a deal for a superstar, and that's what Brian Reynolds is. That's the only way. Only way.
How about this player to come to Toronto? All right, we'll answer a few more questions, then we'll wrap it up. And Bo wouldn't go for that. Maybe trade Kirk and Martinez for McKenzie. If the Guardians were looking to trade Tristan McKenzie, then that would be unbelievable. I don't know if we'd Connor Joe's go to it. That's a cool name. It's definitely a cool name. How about this player coming to Toronto, JD Martinez? Big question. If they asked Bo to move to second, do you think he would want out? We'll end on this question before. Do you think Bo would have a problem moving to second base. Peter and chat, yes or no?
Yes, he would have a problem. I don't know if he's ever been like on record saying that he wants to be a shortstop, but he would have a definite problem with being moved off of short and being told to go to second base, because I know how hard he works, and he's he's the son of a major leaguer. He's never been told no. So I don't think he would go for that. I think he would ask for a trade. I don't think he would buy into that.
I think he might. I think it depends who's replacing him at short. I think he would be open to it. I definitely would. Though, who knows? Egotistical, yes. Yeah, maybe he just says yes, plays upset. It's very possible as well. I think if we have a shortstop coming in, like, what are you gonna? If Carlos Correa comes to the Blue Jays, hypothetically,
oh, you're moving Bo instantly if you get Carlos Correa.
and like second, yeah, I do remember that. Bo did say he would move to second for a premier shortstop, and I think that's what it comes down to. I think that was a while ago, like last year on a report or something like that.
Yeah, but Bo?
He's not going to say no anyways.
Himself a premier
exactly.
Shortstop. He considers himself a premier shortstop.
Another person said he said he would move last year if we signed a premier. Two people said, yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, which makes sense. Though, what else? What is he going to say? No? He's not going to say no.
He could. He could easily.
I mean publicly.
Say no.
I mean publicly.
But then he looks.
Publicly.
Then he looks pretty terrible. Yeah.
Yeah. Would love Correa. Correa would be nuts. I don't think it's gonna happen. The Jan's one of the best catchers in baseball. Game calling is seriously underrated. I do agree. Top 10. I think he was ranked 7th on a Twitter one. But we'll wrap it up now. It's been an unbelievable live stream. You guys are the best. Make sure to hit the like button before we
Zimmer
leave.
the GOAT.
Zimmer
the GOAT. Thomas Toad. He's right.
Thomas Toad Zimmer is the GOAT. We must sign Rodon before the Yankees sign him. Honestly, signing Rodon would stop him from the Yankees and make our rotation one of the best in baseball. If it already is kind of one of the best, but our 4 and 5 is just not it as of right now. But the sport's been unbelievable, guys. So it's just
Thanks, guys. Thanks. It's been unreal.
We're gonna be streaming every week. Make sure you guys have a good night, and keep an eye out in the community tab, because that's where, I don't know if notifications went out for today, but that's where we're gonna be announcing. And as well, join the Discord. It is in the comment section. Join the Discord. I post whenever we are about to go live. You get some sneak peeks before we're going to go live. Thank you, Tara. But sneak peeks before we go live.
Tara. Thank you, Will. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Sego. Let's get Babe Ruth. See you guys.
Let's end it on that. Let's get Babe Ruth, folks.
But yeah, we'll be live again very shortly, within the week. Could be sooner, maybe Wednesday. We'll see what entails, and hopefully the Jays make a move. We love you guys. Thank you, Mike. We love you too. Have a good one, Adam. Lamont. See you next week, stream. Eric, thank you.